Alright, now in this video I'm going to show you how to make a lowrider in Gmod. And let's see, start with something basic. SMR scars, other. Let's go with the 85 Chevrolet Impala. Okay, pretty basic car. Fairly popular car to make a lowrider, especially more nowadays and stuff like that, just to make good hoppers. Not necessarily a show car so much, but anyways. How to make a lowrider. Now you go to Tools in the Q menu and scroll down to Scars. And then we're going to go to Suspension. And for this car, usually I put it at -9. And I usually put any car, I usually have it as stiff as possible, because the wheels flop out or whatever if they're too soft and such. Just because that's how the suspension works on Gmod and all that. Anyways, pretty much dropped it as far as we can without the wheel peeking through. Because the wheels, if you go too far and you got two big wheels and the wheels peek out through the sides or the top of the car because of, like, they just don't collide and it just, it doesn't look right. Anyways, pretty much got a lowrider, pretty much laying frame. And pretty much that's what I consider a real lowrider. If they can lay frame or get pretty damn close to it, then pretty much it's a lowrider. If it doesn't, I mean, that's how it was back in the day from all the way from the 40s and all the 60s and 70s and stuff. And then pretty much evolved into more of hopping and stuff like that, or dancing and all sorts of stuff. But anyways, let's go, and then we go to hydraulics. I usually put it at 15, depending on the car. You can modify these numbers, however you want. And, well, that adds height for the suspension. And, see, it does nothing until you press shift. And sometimes when you first get in the car, you have to press it a couple of times after you set hydraulics to it. So it'll be shift to drop it down to the height that you set it regularly. And then it'll bring it back up. It'll add that height that you set the hydraulics to. And see, and then if you hold the left mouse button and use W and then S, then A, and then D, pretty much you can mess around with, make the car hop. It's pretty basic for, it's pretty good hopper. It's not that great. And then you can modify the weight, but for some reason my weight tool is not here. I don't know why. But anyways, it happens. It doesn't work. It sometimes does. You have to reinstall them and stuff, like reinstall add-ons or whatever. But anyways, let's drop it. And then pretty much, let's see. Oh yeah, the one other thing helps, if you modify the weight, it's not gonna quite help that much, unless you go up to here and under construction in the tool menu and go to physical properties and set it to super bouncy, which should be the 5th one down, super bouncy, and then shoot all the wheels. And this helps a lot, especially if you got the car that weighs more. Usually the cars usually weigh around 5 to 700 pounds, or 5 to 107 weight measurement. I don't know why it's that much. Physics. Let's see, did I do that wheel? Yeah, I did that wheel. And then left click and W. A lot better. And then you could just practice with the timing. The better the timing is, the better the hop. Just like it is with regular hydraulics. Well, I mean, most of us probably haven't done it. But I haven't either. But I plan on owning one in the future. I plan on owning an actual lowrider. If not hydraulics, they would have airbags. Probably like a Cadillac, and just cruise around like probably like an inch off the ground. Just couldn't even fit a package of cigarettes under there. Just hover around, cruise. And if you want, you can hold positions if you use the left click button and then put it, like say I just want the front end to raise. I just press W and then let off the mouse, and then just pretty much just drive around. You can drive around that position or any other position. And see, drop it up and then bring the front end down. And pretty much it. And then press shift again, drop it. Shift to bring it up. But if you want to do like 3-wheel motion and everything, or 3-wheel magic, however you want to term, just do 3-wheeling. Pretty much, you hold left button on the mouse and hold S, and then while you're holding S, press D or A. And usually, you're on 3 wheels. And then you just let go of the mouse button and just cruise around. You go cruise around turns and stuff like that. And then next time when you click the mouse button again, it just brings all 4 wheels up to that height it's set at. And then pretty much you can mess around with it. Just don't press shift to try to make all 4 wheels hop at the same time, because otherwise if you press it too much, you get that alert from Windows and they'll say sticky keys and whatever. But anyways, I usually don't mess with that myself. But usually I just like to make the front end hop and stuff like that. This is pretty much a setup for a good cruising lowrider. Now, if you really want a really good hopper, like you want to get it to stand up, pretty much you would have to go. Let's go to suspension. Let's make that 30. And then set hydraulics at, not health, hydraulics at 25. I like to do at most. You can go all the way to 30 if you want. But for me, it just doesn't look quite right. Let's try that. And you pretty much just click it, you backspace, you press 2 or whatever numbers you want to set it to. Just if you want to do it negative, then you dash it, and which is for negative, and then press enter, and then press Q menu to get out of the Q menu. And set that. Whoa. Okay, something went wrong. Something went terribly wrong. But let's see. See that's an example of why you set the wheels to the right height. Okay, that was my bad. So let me change that. It was because I had the hydraulics on the car, they were all the way up, and then I changed it and it made it glitch. Sometimes you gotta watch out for that. But otherwise, you go back to suspension and then click it again. Whoa. Whoop. Hey, look, I made it flip. But anyways, okay. And one trick that is really cool about scars is if you want the car to flip over, you just press G. And it flips the car right back over. And then let's get out of the car. E is for getting in and out. And let's see. The front wheels aren't touching, so let's do that to -5. Enter Q. Let's see. That touch. Can't tell. If it does, or just barely. Let's see. Yep, just barely. But yeah, let's try the hydraulics out. See, it works pretty good. Now it's just at that regular height. Why does it do this? Why does it keep doing this to me? It's weird. Never done this to me before a whole lot. Damn it, why you gotta flip over? Let's try that again. Yeah, usually this never happens to me too often. Yeah, you call that a flip? They just like roll over. There we go. Yeah, you just mess with the suspension. Don't go back to hydraulics, because then it'll start glitching out like that again. But yeah, and then pretty much you set the rear end the highest as you can, and then set the hydraulics as highest as you can, and then pretty much you gotta. Let's see. Wait a second. Let me set that back to 0. Actually, you know what? Set the front end to 0. Q, enter, and then Q. Let's try that again. Usually, the more weight the vehicle has, the better it'll hop with the super bouncy wheels. And sometimes, well, right now it's kind of been a little bit harder because of that. I'm good at hopping. Trust me, I can get it. It might take me a minute. Now let's try it back at that setting. Pretty much it'll work. Yeah, pretty much it'll just rear bumper will touch, but otherwise in that full height setting, you can pretty much get the car to stand up on the back bumper. And usually it's not too hard, but because of how light the vehicle is, when the wheels want to bounce off of it, they don't bounce that high. Come on. You know what? Let's go to 30. For some reason, yeah, it's because of the weight. So let's try 30. There we go. I should be able to do it. Yep, pretty much got it that time. And there you go. But if you if you modify the weight of the vehicle, it helps a lot when you have the wheels set to physical property of super bouncy. So you don't have to add so much hydraulic height to it. And pretty much there you go. Get the stand up on its rear end. It's pretty awesome. And yeah, pretty much that's about it for pretty much building a lowrider. And you can just drop it, and but then again, it's like at that height, so you're gonna have to mess around with the suspension. So yeah, -9 -9, and click that backspace dash take 9, and then -9, and then enter, and then Q, and it's already set to that, but I usually always like to hit it just to make sure it's on the right one. Whoop. Yeah, you gotta watch out for that. Sometimes it surprises you if you have the hydraulic setting all the way on max and super bouncy wheels. And you don't want to press shift too much, because then you get the sticky key, all that. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Let's paint this. And pretty much what's Lowrider without a nice paint job. Let's change color. Let's try that blue. Yeah, pretty good. Let's do the red, because the player model I'm using. Yeah, that's a nice red. Cool metallic red. don't know. This the only way that happens if the car or Scar itself, the model has kind of like a metallic finish, I guess. I don't know. Some cases they're usually more of like a matte color, and they already have their own paint jobs and stuff. And there you go. Pretty much a pretty good hopper, and lowrider, and everything. And you can mess around with the suspension again and all that jazz. And then if you really want to, come back here, come back, come back. Okay, you get stopped. And then you mess around with the wheel sizes. Usually you want to run smaller or stock size wheels. And, it's just for fun. Yeah. Usually I'm kind of picky with my wheels, so I like the Bel Air is pretty much the closest ones, the classic lowrider wheels. And then you get the wheels end up going through the floor of the map. So what you want to do is, get in or lift the car up with the gravity gun or press G. And it just works just like that. And pretty much that's about it. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment and a like down below.